I'm relatively confident we're going to do that.
Just out of curiosity, which direction you talk about?
Because of the way the lot is, right now, we're probably going to have it facing North Avenue, because of the way the building is and the way the lot is. And so once we get the surveyors, because this design has the storage and everything like that up toward the top of the hill, and depending on what the survey comes, we may flip it, have that at the bottom of the hill and the offices to that. But like I said, that's just kind of internal changes. It shouldn't change anything about the plan. I also have a plan to be speaking with the city planning committee at their next meeting to talk to them about making sure it meets all of their requirements as far as aesthetics and that kind of thing. But they have already looked at it, or at least a couple of folks have already looked at it and feel very comfortable with it. It's going to be a brick stone building on the outside with shingle, so it should blend in nicely with downtown and still provide the security that we need. Oh, and one other thing, I don't think I had an opportunity to tell this group. You remember me telling you that we had a $25,000 security grant that expired actually it's January 15th. We have talked to the state and we've got that deadline extended. So we will be able to get that $25,000 from the state, which hopefully will cover all of the security for the building. So we're continuing to do everything we can.
Are you going to get free bids on this building?
Well, we're gonna put it in, so once we get all the surveys and all that stuff, we will put it out for bid, just as many as we get. And then we will look at two factors, cost being one and timing being two.
Yeah.
What about the parking lot? Is it, you don't want to include that in your budget?
Yes, because that's something we would have to have, so that would be part of it.
How big is this voting room itself, you know?
I don't have the exact dimensions of it. As you'll see, that we tried to go ahead and put in some spacing. It should easily accommodate, I think we've got 12 machines in there now. We're hoping to have room maybe even if we need to go up to 16. But that's going to be where we will do training as well as doing the early voting. And another thing that this does is not only do we have an issue with the county offices, we had an issue with the city, because City Hall is one of our precincts, and obviously the city mayor is elected, so that's within the 100-foot boundary as well. We will actually be utilizing this building for City Hall voting on election day as well, so that will solve that problem.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we approve our report and our preliminary on it.
Motion has been made
I'll second.
and seconded by Jerry Emerson. Any discussion?
So this is a 4,872 square foot building,
Yes.
and you think you'll come in under budget for 4,872 square
We're
foot?
going to do everything we possibly can. And like I said, our architect, who has a lot more knowledge of this than I do, so she's very comfortable that we will be on the budget. And if there's anything that we can do, like I said, we're open to options that we can do to try to minimize it as much as possible. Nothing will make us happier than to come back and say, you know, we built this and here's money back for the county to use for other things.
Any other discussion?
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Well, there's no money here. We're just voting to send these blueprints, approve these blueprints, and allow her to send it out for bids. I don't think a voice vote is required. It's not required. Not required. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you all very much. We'll keep you posted.
And the mayor wanted to go. Doesn't matter? Okay. Order report, school system.
Good evening, Commissioner. As you see from your copy of the quarterly reports, paying attention to the revenues and the expenditures. I can answer any questions, but for the majority of it, as you look at the 35% of the budget, most of the revenues are coming in at about 50%, which is where you expect it to be, and the expenditures are less. So that's a good plan to have.
Any questions for the superintendent?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Renee, sorry. Come back.
That was and Jerry.
All in favor of his report, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Highway Department.
We'll do the quarter report first. Four little items. Any questions on this? Everything going pretty good?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the report for highway department.
A second. Adrian Holman.
Motion made and seconded to approve the highway report. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, well,
Next thing is a list of surplus equipment to be sold. Any questions on any of it?
I make a motion to approve the selling of the surplus equipment.
I second.
motion made and seconded to approve sale of surplus equipment. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Next thing would be approval for working for other municipalities, city, schools, or whoever else.
Motion to approve.
Motion.
I say.
Above the second. Any discussion on that item? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're on the roll.
Next thing, the removal of 3 of the roads within the park. One which goes right down past the main office to the back cabin, the other one's from the Sagamore Lodge up to Lake Levy, and the other one, Lake Levy, which runs out the back, which is gated by the state, maintained by the state. I have this liability, maybe just keep them off the road.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Jerry King, go ahead. Made a motion to remove the roads that are in Chickasaw State Park, county road list. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Did you have anything else?
The road list itself, any questions on it?
Move to approve.
I second.
Motion to approve road list has been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. You approve. Trustee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope everybody got a report this time. Stacy held it down and pushed them on until I got a report to it. So If everybody got one, if you didn't, I've got a couple of copies.
I got a copy too.
All right, good. Just a couple things right quick. We'll try to start putting the solid waste fee collection ratios in the solid waste department there on page 1. If you look and see, we've got 95% collected in 2021 tax fees, 68% collected on the 22s. One other thing, as I always like to make mention of the undistributed taxes. This is taxes that people are paying ahead of time, so we've already got a few that are paying for 2023. We kind of cut that off. We don't want people paying more than a year in advance, but this is a great thing, and everybody that's on this board really likes it, and appreciates it. Again, that goes back to the county commission working with the trustee's office and making this happen. That was the highlights of our report. Any questions?
Second.
Motion made to approve. Trustees report, second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
County General.
General fund, as of December 31st, is showing approximately 42% of budgeted revenues received, and approximately 45% of budgeted expenditures expended. So we're on the right track there. The library fund is showing about 4 times as much, 400% of revenues, budget revenues received. That's because the $600,000 for the expansion has been included in the number. If you take that out, you're seeing about 10% of our budget revenue so far. She has a lot of grants that come in late in the year. And approximately 59% of the budget expenditures have been expended. Solid waste is showing about 61% of revenues received and about 36% of budget expenditures spent. The drug control fund is showing about 123% of budget revenues received. This is one of those funds, you simply don't know during the year how much you're going to get in. So it's a city budget as of December 31st. That's a good thing. About 39% of the budget expenditures have been spent. And the general debt service has received approximately 38% of budgeted revenues and has expended approximately 32% of budgeted expenditures. Any questions from anybody?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the county general solid waste, the library, and debt service. Drug control. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Those are approved. Chief, you ready?
That time of year again for the AFG Assistance Firefighters Grant. They're out by FEMA, federal government. The grant application opened on January 12th. They closed on the 22nd of February. What we're in need of, I'd like to put in this grant for an air compressor system, a cascade system, at 6,000, so it's 24,000 pound system. To include in the price of the bids is the installation of this equipment, the training for this equipment, the cost, and also the air sampling for the first 6 months. is in the cost. So I've got 2 bids out of 3 back for this meeting. And at 5% is what the county will be liable for these grants. I have $66,197 bid. And 5% would be $3,310 for the county. The second bid is $79,000, and at 5% it'd be $3,950 county's cost. I'm still waiting on that third bid. Hopefully, I won't get it in by March, but the grant closes the 22nd of February. So with these 2 bids that I've got, it's 5% from the county, and as you can see, nothing's over $4,000 that the county will be out. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I got a phone call, and they will waive the grant writing fee of $2,500. So we're getting this grant written free if you approve 5% match. So I'm asking you to approve 5% match.
Up to 4,000.
3950, that's the highest match I've got right now. I put out 3 bids, I got 2 back before the meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Did we cap it? 3950 or 4,000?
He said 3950, didn't he?
Well, the cheapest one's 3310.
I got 3310 for the 66,197 bid. I got 3950 for the 79,000 bid.
I think he capped it 3950, but, so,
Sounds fine.
And with that, I have to negate the third bid. It could come in at 100,000. I don't know what it's going to be because it's not my hands. I don't know.
I'll make a motion.
All right, motion made, and that's a roll call vote. Yes. Motion made and seconded. Call the roll.
Jerry Love.
Yes.
Kevin Faulkner.
Yes.
Bubba Edgerton.
Yes.
Al McKinnon.
Yes.
Jerry King.
Yes.
Andrea Holland.
Yes.
Johnny Garner.
Yes.
Carolyn Higgins.
Yes.
Ann Moore.
Yes.
Renee Phelps.
Yes.
Jerry Emerson.
Yes.
Tim Crow.
Yes.
Barry Smith.
Yes.
Brenda Matthews.
Yes.
Todd Lewis. Ricky Hardy.
Yes.
16 in favor.
Thank you very much.
You want to tell them about the fire truck?
Jerry,
You're welcome to it, okay.
you gonna bring it or you gonna get it? It don't matter.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So we have purchased out of the insurance money a 3,000 gallon tanker pumper. Has a 1,500 GPM pump on it, which I know is absolutely don't understand. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's coming out of Connecticut. The guy called, they received the money for the shipping and the purchase of the vehicle. He called me today. They are planning on shipping next Monday or Tuesday to us. That being said, it's a stainless steel tank and frame and bodywork. This truck's been undercoated. It only has 23,000 miles on it. For our needs, I had to go above I had to maintain 2,000 gallons or above for our ISO rating. The truck that was destroyed was 2,000 gallons. So I had to replace at least 2,000 gallons of water to be available. This truck exceeds that by 1,000 gallons. I don't know how it's going to play out on ISO. I won't know until next March, a year from this point. So they know what we purchased. I've uploaded everything to them. This is a 6-man crew cab. Another thing that makes that good is because the ISO rating is now grading on the seated riding positions of your vehicles. Most of ours, except for a couple of trucks, are just two-man cabs. Well, this one truck brings us up 4 more seated riding positions to help us on our ISO rating, which is a plus. Now, this is a 1995 model, but the years is not going to matter. It's the capacity, the certified pump rating I got with it, the certified engine rating I got with it. Now, that's certified, that's not warranty. There is no warranty on a 28-year-old vehicle. It's as is where it is, but the pump and the engine is certified. It has 87% rubber on it, so the tires are in good shape. Just had new brakes, engine's been gone through. It will help, it'll be an asset, it'll help us out. So, I got a little extra money off the insurance, and I purchased the small equipment such as the dump tank, hoses, nozzles, suction, whatever, 3-inch and 1 3/4 hoses to be put on this truck that was destroyed in the other truck, the insurance company, and that come out almost to a dollar figure of what they paid us to replace it. So I look forward to it next week. It won't go in service today. It gets here by no means, because we've got to equip it. I ordered the equipment. We've got some of it in, not all of it. But as it comes in, we'll equip it, and we'll get a tanker back out to Sweetlands Fire District to replace the destroyed one. Any questions about it?
Mr. Chairman, this is being paid for out of the insurance money, this is not
It
in.
was an emergency purpose.
Yes, no money out of the budget whatsoever. It's all through the PFIS insurance refund.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
What was the dollar amount of the second bid?
79,000,
Even? Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
And the first one was 66,197.
For the record, what's the fire truck cost? It's cost, I know it's been through the fire committee and the budget committee, so for them.
$84,900, $2,300 in shipping. So it come 87.
Mr. Chairman, this has been through 2 committees, but I'll make the motion that we ratify the purchase. Second.
Motion been made and seconded for that truck. Verified. Let it be a roll call vote. We more than voted for it, really.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor of that purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, budget committee minutes.
Good evening. The budget committee met on January 9th in this room. You should have a copy of all the amendments from the county general, the school system. You should have all those budget amendments, the library, we got one we'll go back to. So as the budget amendments that you got in your packet emailed to you, the committee makes a motion that we approve those budget amendments. Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the budget committee amendments. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
All right, we had one that come up today. We had one that come up today. This is just simply a housekeeping issue where Mr. Irwin kind of alluded to it a moment ago. I think the last county commission meeting, I wasn't here, I was sick, the county commission ratified to spend $600,000 for the library renovations. We need to go ahead and transfer that money from the ARPA fund. That's from 115-49-800 into library building construction, 115-56-500-706 for the $600,000 that this commission has already approved. So I'll put that in form of a motion.
Is that in here?
Right here.
Okay, I'll make that.
So moved.
Are we at a second?
Motion's made and seconded. It's actually a committee recommendation, no second is actually required. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's all the questions we have.
Mayor, do you have a report?
Good evening. I just got to attend a meeting of the Association of Tennessee Valley Governments. And I got to hear plenty of complaints from other counties and even different counties in other states. Because Tennessee Valley's government covers like 5 to 7 states. And there was people there from all different, there's mayors and TVA, and, cybersecurity people there from all states. And I just like to say thanks to our electric company and our fire and sheriff's department and even our solid waste and highway department, because I know we had a few mishaps, but when you have a recovery from a winter storm system, that the way TVA put it, that hit and dropped temperatures 45 degrees in a period of 6 hours, and they stayed there for freezing below for 5 days or more. And it caused all kinds of problems in other states and all through the TVA governments. And in this time, it took down some of the TVA fossil and coal power plants. The nearest one to us was Cumberland City. And it caused, even here, we had power outages that come in 15-minute intervals, which we didn't get very much notice. I got a text message maybe about 30 minutes before it happened, and Brandon Connor got it about saying we didn't get the word out near quick enough, but we didn't get it out to us. And from all this that was happening, and everyone that still worked during this time, I'd like to say thank you. And even we also had water outages in certain places, even in the city and in the county. And also, I'd like to recommend that the Roby community, for helping their neighbors and each other and checking on each other, because during this time, they was out of water for about a week. And we tried to help as a county as much as we could to provide them drinking water. But the community themselves, they did a lot of it. They went around and checked on people, and we worked through the fire station there, but they really done good. And as far as I know, nobody had any problems and all from it. And when Lexington water system was the reason that they had no water. But after they got it fixed and all, from neighbors helping neighbors, everything turned out good. We got to recommend it. Next, I'd like to talk about the coroner. I did receive a letter from Dr. Michael Rebel that he is extending the contract. The contract is due and is up. It's at a 5-year interval. It'll be up in July of this year. So, and I think we done mentioned, we just didn't know who it's still done through Med Resource, but instead of Dr. Linder, it's Dr. Rebel now. And I have the papers here, and I'll get to it. I don't know if we need to make a motion and a second on this, but he is the new doctor or coroner that's finishing out the contract up to July. I guess I need to entertain a motion for that in a second, because it's the same services, but the doctor provider is different.
Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
That's right.
All right. Do we accept this gentleman as, this Dr. Rebel as our card? Any discussion? Not hearing any? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
All right, also, the fairgrounds project, we got, we set money aside for it. Before we really get started there, they're gonna have an implement sale there this weekend, and hopefully by this spring, we'll be starting to start working on for that. And also that we have a young lady that won some awards and some contests, and I think that's Miss Cherry's daughter, and I'd like to thank her for her efforts there in the judging. Then also, I just received an email today about opioid payments. We're going to receive some more opioid payments, but they're restricted in the use. I just got the notice today, and I will be giving further information on it as I get it. The TCAT Center, they was one of the ones that was asking for funding originally from when we received the ARPA funding. Just to put something in that they're going to ask for, because they are still having students that would like to sign up, and some of our graduates this year are signing up for TCATs, and we would like to continue ours at the facility over here on White Avenue. And I'd like us to consider possibly giving them a possible 25-year lease on the building. Without that, they have funds that they can do the building and add to their class volume. They're wanting to build a higher rise section on the building for possibly electrical maintenance and plumbing electrical class. And we can be bringing the specifics to maybe the next commission meeting. That's all right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I had one question. I would have asked him, but he's not here tonight, and we haven't had a couple of planning commission meetings. Do we know where we're at on all our certifications for the county, as far as for the county and for our zoning official on all the certifications? I knew there had been some hiccups on that, so I just kind of wondering where was at on that.
I was planning to get with Leon today for sure on that then, and he was sick today, so I will be getting him hopefully tomorrow, if not real soon.
Could you email that out to the commission whenever you find that out, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Personnel committee, Renee, would you like to give a review of what happened? Either way.
The personnel committee met on December the 13th. There were several items that was discussed as to how to assure that Chester County's governmental policies and procedures are state compliant. And the only thing that we actually entertained the motion, accepted and approved to recommend to the county commission was that we seek approval to contact CTAS to confirm that all our department personnel policies are compliant as far as leave time, wages and hours, non-discrimination, harassment, drug testing, etc. So basically, just to get approval to CTAS to make sure that we are state compliant.
Okay. Thank you. There's no action necessary on that. Thank you for your report.
I would like to ask that if all the department heads have not had do not have an up-to-date policy with, Stacy, the county clerk. If you will go ahead and get those ASAP. I know there's some, but some of them are, they look like they're a little dated, so.
Some of them need to be updated. We have a report on everybody. We also have policies on giving out information, you know, public information. But yeah, they can be updated.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner King, I am sorry, I stole your thunder, but do you have anything else to add on fire and highway? Mr. James Smith, Homestead Lane.
Good evening. I've lived on Homestead Lane since 1991. And in December, again, was brought to my attention that it is not a county road. And what happened was Highway 45 came up there to log the property behind us. And I contacted Barry Hutchinson, and he contacted the attorney, and Barry advised me that it was not a county road. At that point, I contacted the sheriff's department and spoke with Chief Deputy Griffin and asked him to enforce no trespassing and stop Highway 45 from logging out Homestead Lane. And the big trucks and their equipment tore up the road, and they ran over the corner of my driveway and broke it. And Chief Deputy Griffin advised me that he spoke with the district attorney, and the district attorney told him that it was deemed a county road because there's 911 addresses on it. And he could not enforce no trespassing. So at that point, I had no assistance from the county to stop Highway 45 from traversing the road and logging behind, of which Mr. Henderson, who owned the property, has access to that property off a county road to his own land. But they choose, because of the little bit of more distance, to traverse 45, which is a narrow road. My wife was run off the road one day by one of the logging trucks, and I'm here in representing the neighbors that live on Homestead Lane, and we'd like to request the county to adopt Homestead Lane as an official county road and make it a county road so everybody can traverse it. So I'm asking for your vote tonight on making Homestead Lane a adopted county road.
Yes.
I didn't know it, until this all come up, I didn't know it was not a county road. Has the county been maintaining that road over the years?
No, when the old bridge washed out, or came close to washing out, Noah Weaver, I went to him and asked him, and he said, well, it's not a county road. And he agreed to put in the 10-foot culvert if I would provide the sand off my property to backfill, which I did. And when they tarred and stone chipped one summer, they ran it all the way up past my residence.
So there is tar and chip all the way up back here. So the
Tar and chip all the way up.
Can't pay for that, correct?
Well, that's all that's been done. It's since broken up and has not been patched in this area that needs repair. But he did do the tar and chip on it. So the perception was that it's a county road. But legally, it's, according to the county attorney, it is not a county road. But according to the district attorney, it's deemed a county road. So I'm asking for a decision tonight on yes, it's a county road, or no, it's not a county road.
Has anything been needed to the county? Any right of ways or any access, anything like that been needed to the county over the years?
As far as I know, if there was a right of way or anything given to the county, it was given before I moved there in
1991. Barry, you're shaking your head, yes, can you answer that?
There is a deed to Chester County that's dated 1970 something, I think, where a 50-foot strip is deeded to Chester County for a proposed road.
And the 911 director couldn't be here tonight, she is sick. But I did check with her office, and there's been 911 addressed on this section since the early 1990s.
September 1978.
That's all, that's all. I said 911 has issued addresses on this stretch up there since the early, since about mid-1990s. I checked on that today, or last week.
Oh, yeah, 495 was a 911 address, which was the house I bought in 91 that Hobbs built.
That's all I have. Todd, maybe.
You know, Tom, the link.
It's on the road.
From where the road stops on the road list to where his property, approximately 850 feet, give or take a little.
Is that road up to specifications?
It's not wide enough. It's an average of 12 feet wide, and we need it to be at least 20 on the road itself, and then 3-foot shoulders on it, and proper drainage. And I'm all for taking it, but it just needs to be to the standards.
Well, the people that live on there cannot afford to bring it to standards. And our perception was that it was a county road, but as I researched further, I've been told it's not a county road by one official, and that it was deemed a county road by another. And that we couldn't stop Highway 45 from logging Emerson's property. So, we're asking for a decision, yes, it's a county road, or no, it's not.
How many pieces of property, do you know that off the top of your head, how many pieces of property come off that, have access to that? Barry?
4 right now. So my concern, 5, and my concern is that they develop that piece of land that they just logged, and there's going to be traffic running up and down that road, and it's, like he said, it's only 12 feet wide. And you have to be careful if you meet somebody else coming down the road at you. And
I thought you did. Go ahead.
no, that's okay.
How much would it cost county to get it up to, Paul?
I don't know about utilities, I don't know where they're at, if they need to be moved, I mean, there's a lot of areas there. But as far as the rule, the county don't build roads. I mean, they have them contracted out and we maintain them.
We got to be careful about setting a precedent of taking one that is not up to code.
I'm pretty torn on this, people's got to have access to the property.
I'm sorry?
I said, I'm torn on this, but people's got to have access to the property.
We would like it to be a county road, but it needs to be maintained and according to the road commissioner White.
I'm going to refer this to the Fire and Highway Committee for a study, see what it's going to take to do that, and come back to us at the next meeting.
I'm sorry?
I referred it to the Fire and Highway Committee, they're going to study and bring it back to us at the next meeting and tell us what the possibilities are. I don't think anybody here knows right now what it would cost or what it needs to be done to make a motion either way. Any other business? Lance?
come to you for just a few minutes on behalf of the trustee's office. Just kind of a recap of where we are today. We haven't had a property tax increase in 6 years. We did have a property reappraisal program this year that adjusted the tax rate. Now, I know we had a solid waste fee last year that was to replace lost revenue. So I know some people use that as yes, we did have a property tax increase, more taxes. But we've been pretty financially responsible with our money. Chester County has had a healthy fund balance for several years. In fact, in the world of county government finance, Chester County has one of the highest crime ratings amongst 5 rural counties in all Tennessee. Again, this is a result of sound financial decisions by the mayor's office. Not just the current mayor, this is a process that's been going on for several years, but including the current mayor. The Finance and Budget Office, which we had experienced like no other for 31 years, with you Bernard. And the County Commission, several of you, but others also included, and other elected officials. By working together, these entities kept property taxes low while being physically responsible for taxpayer dollars. I'm going somewhere with this, bear with me. I just want to share a few facts with you. I'm not here to give you my opinion. These are facts. I think it was mentioned in the budget, last budget meeting, we spend all that we've appropriated for the different items requested with ARPA. We've got about $10,000 left in the ARPA account, not saved. While we are currently financially stable with a healthy fund balance, I think we should consider the ramifications of a natural disaster or perhaps another pandemic of sorts. Spending all of the ARPA money will leave us with the lowest fund balance in over a decade, since 2010. Most of you weren't here at that time, but there were 2 years where we saw two consecutive years of tax increases. Some of you do remember that, for a total of 63 cents over 2 years. Aside from being very improper, as you can imagine, it's irresponsible to place that burden on the taxpayer. Those are just a few facts. I also wanted to mention that I had talked with a couple of you, but I also spoke, I think, at the last budget meeting about a certain interest rate that we will be earning on the ARPA money. Y'all can write this down. I was mistaken on the figure that I gave you. And I don't give exact amounts because we have to bid these, time to time we bid out the investments. So it was incorrect, but we are now getting about, we'll say between 1 and 1.6% on the nursing home money. The ARPA money is earning a little bit more than that. But we are looking at all of our investments and making sure they're getting as much interest as possible. So, in fact, we've got a meeting with Bank tomorrow and some other things. But just kind of let you know that. I'm not here to make any kind of public statement or opinion. I just wanted to bring those facts and recap kind of where we are today with the tax rate that we have.
Thank you, man. Savannah.
You called up earlier, so I want to make sure I gave y'all my report. It should have been in y'all's packet, so I just want to let you know about some of the grants that we have that are ongoing. One of them is our top grant. We use it for reimbursement for hotspots and trainings that we offer for free to the community. I did get confirmation today that our next reimbursement should be going out within the next 2 weeks. This grant particularly affects our communications budget as well as our travel and training budget. We also have the technology grant that we received. I just got invoices with the check numbers back. So we submitted today the request for reimbursement, so within the next few weeks to a couple months, we expect to start getting those back. That affects our office supply budget, that's where we pay for those from. And then I also have the list there that you can see from several different grants that we have applied for. A couple of others have been added. The one of note is they sent me over all the information for that today. The board and I are going to start working on that. And then on that page, we've got our statistics. One thing I did want to let y'all know that I have added for y'all is the conference room bookings, how many of those we have. Sorry, I've got my voices in now. Some of these are just one-on-one virtual visits, homeschool groups that come in. It's a wide variety of different groups that ask to use our conference room. But I did want to show y'all how many groups per month are using this room. So we do have that down there. And something to consider is we also use the rooms for our programs, which will be to the right side on that second page. If y'all have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
I'm sorry, when Gary made the report, financial report, I checked library off.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Any other business? Charge districts.
Yes, sir, we have 7. Madeline Fontaine's Floors, Jasmine Hernandez, Tiffany Lynn Jones, Mary Martin, Stephen Rowland, Tammy Worley, and Christy Yarmouth.
Notice.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve the notaries, seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. Chair invites a motion to adjourn.
Hello, Robin.